Good evening. It's Monday night, 7 p.m., and I'm here for Mental Mind Treatments. Well, one of our the card, first of all, Norma, come on, I'm going a little fast. This one I kind of liked. I pulled one the other day I forget what I was doing, but anyway, I pulled one and I went, oh, this is a new one. But anyway, here's one. I think we've had this before. We begin from completion. And on the other side, it says, we begin in wholeness. Sorry, not we. I begin in wholeness. I work and play in wholeness. I finish and rest in wholeness. And I want for you to see the little logo it has there, kind of like just showing that we are whole. And very often, because of experiences in our lives, things gets a little bit wonky, which is why we do treatment work and why we do transformation work and many of the other little things that we do in order to clear and stay as clear as we were originally. It would just gives me a food to thought that when we okay, I do readings looking at souls right back to the very beginning when they first spring into being as a soul, and then their journey of what they've done that's brought them to Earth. Now, one of the things to realize is that when you come out, it's like you expect a little drop. It's almost like mother's milk in a way, a little drop from this really big energy field, and the little drops are sort of just a tiny off-white color. And when that happens, there is potential there because there are beings there that can soar, and they can sometimes take certain ones and put them somewhere and do something, or they may notice like, oh, that one's got something here, and anyway, get channeled in a way. But there's purity in it. There isn't like a lot of stuff that we have now. And then you begin your journey on different planets in different ways. And then eventually you arrive here. I had doing some work with a client a couple of days ago. And one of the things I pointed out to her, because it said there was an issue on the soul level. And I said, well, first of all, I said, well, it looks like you arrived in a spaceship with 3 others. It took her back a bit, and then I said and explained what and why that was, and then I said to her, which often happens, do you sort of always looking for somebody, but you never see them or find them? And I said, that's because you're looking for the 2 people that came with you, that they got separated as souls, and so it's sometimes we forget the bigger picture that goes on, the bigger reason why we're here, how we got here. Because we did get here usually not always by choice, by the way, which I won't go into tonight, but not always by choice. But very often it's just kind of the procedure of where we're ending up. And it's always interesting how people show up here. And I find it's interesting as to what they come for, like what is the impetus to bring them to planet Earth. Because as I've said many times, this is an emotional planet, and dealing with emotions and feelings is like it's not easy. And so most planets that I have seen on the whole are very mental. And then people come here and they don't know what to do because the mental element, it doesn't really work as well as the emotional work. But anyway, we've got people coming in, and so that's good. And I want to first of all, say this. One of our regulars, Kayla, had her birthday today, and she is 83. And so she sent me a little, hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself again. So she sent me what she sort of wanted to have today. And one of the things is that this year for her is a 6 year. And a 6 year is a very interesting year because it's a healing year. She is a healer. She does a lot of healing work. And so that can work too. She also put quite a bit in here what she wanted, which I changed around. So what I'm going to treat for today is this. It's a little different, Kayla, but I liked it. I thought this is exactly more in line of where you're wanting to go. It says, and what I've written is, I lovingly invite my next, in brackets, new adventure into my life. And I think that sums up where we want to go. We don't want to hash the old stuff. We want to move into the new and bring that in. So let me just get my head together here. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know that I can speak my word and it is heard and it therefore will be done. So therefore I speak my word for Kayla on this special day of her birthday. And I speak it knowingly that her next new adventure into life with growth, love, and process, just progress was what I meant to say, progress as it moves into one, is there and comes in willingly and easily, and that she emerges energetically into that next adventure. Because there's an awareness here of peace and love and understanding. I give thanks in knowing that Kayla, on this birthday and every day forward coming, is moving into a new vibration of her next adventure in life that brings everything that she desires, that she's energetic, loving, and emerge into new understandings. So the adventures add in every which way. I give thanks in that knowingness as I release this thought, knowing that it is true, it is done, and therefore it is. Big breath. I also speak my word for Marion. As I speak my word for Marion, the numbers that Marion gave me was 3, 17, and 21. It's like that universal love force is so in the fabric of everything that very often we forget that. But it's there. And the 17 shows the ability to utilize that from within to create the balance from what's in as we put out. So in the 21, we can enjoy it in all ways. Now, I like the three numbers because there is a flow to it of growth and of progress as well. What she wants is self-empowerment. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know that as Marion moves forward in life and in expression and in awareness, that her inner loving heart, her ability to be able to balance with the universal love force and herself brings balance, understanding, awareness, and a great deal of pleasure and a sense of being. I give thanks in the knowing of this. I give thanks in the knowing that as she moves forward, that there is self-empowerment grows. So it's so natural that it is there. And as we release this thought, knowing it is true for Miriam, that the empowerment that is wanted and desired is natural, easy, and empowering. And I give thanks as I release this by knowing that it is and will continue to keep on working by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Okay, so let's see. Kayla was, hang on, I think we came back here. Marion had said first, good evening and blessings to all. Kayla says, greetings, Norma. Much gratitude and love today and always. So Karen Lee. Hi, Norma. Would love to have a treatment for whatever comes to mind. And the numbers are 2, 10, and 17. There's 17 again. Just a second, I'll write your name as well because it makes me... Oh, there we go. Well, 2 is always about choice, making a decision, choosing to stay, choosing to go, choosing whatever. 10 shows action and change, and 17 is about balance. Balancing the inside with the outside, balancing your emotions, balancing whatever. But let's take a look at what this all comes to. Let's see what's given as we do a treatment. I know that there is one power, and as I know that there is one power, that I speak my word for Karen Lee. And as I speak my word for Karen Lee, I find it quite difficult to get my head up, which means that we're not really looking ahead, but we're looking at what is immediate, what's here. And this is why the number 2 first, because the decision is, do we continue on with our lives in the way we want? When we're in command of the life as we're moving forward, it is easier than when, as with the 10, life comes along and says, oh, well, you're standing still. No, you got to do some change here. And all of a sudden, the life gets very busy or very out of hand or whatever, which way you want to look at that. And it's just about bringing, now you see my head's up, I can look. And so it's like the need here is to really work on balancing what you don't want with what you do want and keep working for how you want to be. I feel here a little bit of despair, a little bit of sadness, a little bit of, what's the word I want to see? Oh, I've got 17 down, and I just looked up and noticed you had wrote 12, which is acceptance, which is quite a whole different kettle of fish. But I like the 17 because I think that's what is needed here. So it's like, can I just reframe that a little bit? Is that there's still a decision that needs to be made, and the 10 is 10 will shake you out of your comfort zone, because unless it's stationary. So maybe we need to get some movement happening, because it does feel a little stationary. But the 12 is acceptance of what it is what it is. You know, we fight what it is. And sometimes by not fighting what it is and just accepting what it is, everything shifts and changes. I still go back to the number 2. It's like making the decision for yourself. What do you want? What do you want to do? What do you want to create? And what can you accept? It's almost like I want to forgive myself and accept what is, and then just let it lie. And in letting it lie, things change and grow. And there comes a time when one has to assume I'm going to say what is I want to say? You'll see me looking at here because I want to, the inside is that you have to just accept your path. You have to accept what you want to choose to do and what you want to do. And so that's what makes that really, really happen really, really well. And I just think here, it's funny, I took that 12 as a 17. But what I would want to say with that is maybe that the 17 is what's needed, is the balancing of what's inside to the outside to make that you're still working on your path and whatever. Because I see underneath you wrote, Mama's still here. Thanks for your many treatments for her. It's like you still got to live your life. And if she's choosing not to go and hang on besides everything else that we know of, because yes, she's true, she should have gone. But she's fighting because she doesn't understand, which I spoke about. And I did actually a whole thing last Wednesday on about the death and dying process. So I just want to say, look after yourself, Karen Lee. Pay attention to what you want. What's your decision? What are you wanting to do? What are you wanting to go? Because there'll come a time when that 10 will go into being the tower, because they're both action. Right now, when I look at it, it actually is pretty stagnant. And that's the issue here. And that's why the acceptance, so you can get things moving again. I give thanks in knowing, as I sorry, I don't think I lived to the treatment part. I just did the explanation part. Well, I know I've been tired today. I've had a nap. I should be on the ball. I know there is one power and there's one essence. And as I speak my word for Karen Lee, I also know that she has a lot of support from the other side and people who love and care for her. I know that making decisions sometimes is not easy because we cannot see the other side. So we have to go by our heart, by our essence and the awareness, and make the changes that are needed to be made and accept them as we move forward. As I said earlier, it was difficult to put my head up. So we need to project ahead. We need to, before we trip over our own feet, we need, so that universal support is there, to know that no matter what, the universal support is there to give you exactly what you require and need. And I release this knowing that it is true, that you have support, you have love, and you need to take the reins back for your life and go in the direction that you need to go for you. I will do a little quick one for Margaret, your mum, just to see how things are going. I'm getting 16, 3, and 7. And 16 is the tower when it comes in, 3 is the love force, and 7 is leaving the old behind. So let's just trust that it'll happen anyway. So I know that Margaret, Karen Lee's mum, is moving into a new reality, the reality of what we call death, and moving into a new vibration that brings great growth and great understanding with teachers, people who will listen, people who will support and teach of a new way of how to deal and cope and handle with all the intricacies of life. I give thanks in knowing that Margaret will receive this information as she leaves the body, as the body says, sorry, we're not carrying this one more minute, one more second, you are gone. That she will embrace the light and move into the light with ease, love, and understanding. I give thanks totally 100%, knowing that her helpers, her teachers, her family that's on the other side already are there helping her and welcoming. And I say, and so it is. Amen, as we let that go. So thank you. Okay, Karen, my dear, let's see what we get today. Greetings, Norma. I would appreciate a treatment for being more mindful of my thoughts and feelings to manifest more mindfully. And then we've got 5, 21, 6. More mindful thoughts. Is that what we're looking for? Is being more mindful in my thoughts. Okay. Can I just talk about thoughts? Because that's one of my probably big projects in life. And you probably heard this before, but sometimes we forget. When you have a thought that you do not want, you can freeze it, evaporate it, and replace it. And I think I've said this a couple of times in different shows lately because it's something that's for me, was very, very important to get my head straight. And sometimes I still have to do that because minds have a way, they're like weeds, they grow back often. And even though we pull it out, weed and all, a few years can go by and all of a sudden, what's that thought doing there? Get out of here. So what we're seeing here with the numbers that you picked is you need to be reminded of some basics regarding thinking and to bring it back into balance so that you understand how those, teachings, we could say, work and not get confused. Sometimes thoughts can be so deceiving in the sense they creep in like the snake, right? Sneak in. And when we think of number 5, that's the lovers, and there is a snake, and I think there's a snake there. And so it's very important, this balancing of the I think it's balancing. Gosh, sorry, I'm so sorry. My mind is not quite 21, 22. Yes, 21 is the world. So balance, your understanding of where you are. And again, watch where your eye is going. Is it going ahead for the prize? Do you know where you want to go? If you don't know where you want to go, that's probably why the thoughts are getting scrambled and confusing. Because, it's like you have to know where your next goal is or what the goals are. The goals are very, very important because they're like, there's where we're heading. I'm heading to that pen no matter what. And so we can make sure then that the thoughts that are going on inside is taking you exactly to where you want to go. So this, I think, is a matter of letting go fear, letting go. There's some resentment in there for some reason. Maybe you'll know what that is. And be able to project ahead without getting confused. It's funny how, I mean, I always find this when I'm working with clients is when my head doesn't come up, I know that they're not seeing or projecting ahead. And I got that, Karen. So it's like, where do you want to go next? You've done a big shift and a big growth, of which I am extremely proud of you for you. And now it's kind of like maybe routine. So now it's time to go, okay, where am I heading next? What's my next goal? Where am I going to go in the direction I want to go? And so it will all move forward. So now I've got the trajectory. Let's go. I know there's one power and that we're all connected to that power. We're all part of the big loving force. And do we use it or do we not? Do we get confused from our own minds as to what is important and what isn't? Are we really clear on what our goals are? And often, if we're not, we just wait and ask, give me clarity, show me the strength, show me the way, show me what to do, or whatever. And they will do that because when you interrelate to that bigger power, it will bring to you what you are required, what you need, and take you to the direction you want to go in. I give thanks and really in knowing that Karen is ready to balance her life in such a way that the conscious, subconscious, superconscious, which is in the lovers, number 6, is balanced. Sometimes I think the subconscious gets a bad rap. And I know in the bigger picture, it is part of who we are. It is where all the energy, where the power, where everything comes from. But we have to be in conscious command of that subconscious. We have to tell it. We have to put the appropriate thoughts in there. We have to give it what it needs to project and create what is for our best and what we particularly want. Therefore, I give thanks in knowing that Karen's getting a stranglehold on her subconscious, stranglehold on the confusion, so that she has clarity. Because what we want here is clarity, so that we know the thoughts to say, we know the direction we're going in. And when they don't work, we go the freeze, evaporate, replace, which obviously is part of the lesson tonight. And know that we are moving in the direction that we want to, and that we have universal support. Remember this, the universal love, universals will have your back every step of the way, always. Always will take you exactly where you're needing to go and how to get there. Just going to adjust my neckline here a bit. There we go. I trust that helps. I give thanks in knowing this as I release this. And so it is. And Kayla, I hope you see that Karen Lee says happy birthday. Marion says happy birthday to Kayla. Jerry, Jason. Okay. I feel 8, 6, and 2. So Jerry, 8, 6, and 2. So we've got, if you know the tarot at all, strength, lovers, and the good old high priestess. Now you've got 2 emotional symbols, but anyway. What surprise I feel. This whole thing is about balance. The number 8, and the way I've written it is fairly balanced in a way, which is great. But it's like, it's like being in a place and then saying, where do we go from here? You know, I used to ask how old people were, what their ages are, what their ages were. And when we first started, and that's sort of fallen by the wayside. But at this moment, it feels like it would be an interesting thing to have. So what I want to do, Jerry, is I'm going to talk about balance and knowing that you have the strength and the power from above. But then it gets confusing. It's like I have, the old saying, when you have many, fingers and many pies? That's how it feels like to me. So there's the confusion part there. And then it's like, well, which one do I do? Where do I go? So what I'm looking at that's here is that you're needing, for some reason, half my pins are not wanting to work tonight. There we go. You want clarity. This is the second one. We've got needing clarity because there's too much emotional. Out of three symbols, you've got two emotional ones. And when we go into confusion, which is the six, when we go into confusion, we don't know what we want. We know what we think we want, but maybe not what it is really what we want. And so there's about making a decision, the direction of where you want to go. And that has to be looked into your heart. What does your heart say? What is the essence of what you're really wanting? Because you know how to balance. I think you know how to balance, but it's like having clarity right now with the rest of it. So you can make those mental choices. You can know what your mind's saying. So the universe knows what you want. See, one of the things people forget, if you're not clear in your mind, the universe doesn't know what you want. And it's just wanting to give you what you want. So it'll give you all sorts of things. Because she must want this. Oh no, I'm saying she. Sorry, males. She must want this. She must want that. She must want the other. Because there's no clarity. There's no strength of saying this is what I really, really want. My suggestion, Jerry, get strong on what you really want. The universe will hear you. It will start producing for you. So let's give a treatment on that. I know there is one power. I know there is strength and power and essences with you, Jerry. I give thanks in knowing that clarity is important. And so it's like clear away the things that you don't want in your life from your thinking process and concentrate on what you do want. And the universe is going to respond to you because that's about you making a decision about where you want to go. And if you're not sure where you want to go, ask them to show you, give you direction, make it an awareness so that it all works out exactly the way that you want. I give thanks in knowing that clarity for Jerry is there. Just needs some sense of letting go all those emotional thinking patterns that are not bringing a result of clarity. I give thanks as I release this thought, knowing it is true. Clarity is there for Jerry. And so it is. Amen. Okay, my dear friend Mary. Hi. I don't know why my things have lit up here. Hi, Norma. The numbers for my friend John. Okay. 3, 10, and 4. There's 10 again. I like it the way certain nights, same numbers keep coming up. Hang on a minute. Here we go. He can't get his computer to You think I can? Okay, let's see what this is all about then. Computer to work. Sorry. Oh, we always have to have a laugh. Sometimes we're just too serious. I hope it's plugged in. Because something here is about, the way I'm saying that is about if there's something wrong with the actual plug, where it's plugged in. And if it's not a plugged in, it's still about something connected because you got the 3, which is the love force and the lovingness. And that's electrical, like in the sense that the love force is there. But if something isn't connecting, then it's not going to work. So, or else his energies are off so much that they're creating a short. I don't know. There's something wrong with the connection anyway, is the first thing I pick up. So there is a sense of beginning to look at what the connection is, how the connection is working. Because let's face it, the love force works with you if you receive it. But if you don't, if you're having a strong mental mind, sometimes it doesn't work super well. So it's like, I think it's all about connection. Because when we've got the 10 sitting there, which is the wheel of fortune of the change and going round and round and round, and then we get to the number 4, which is like not working. So I basically think that the connection has to be looked at. And it could be that it's representative of spiritual connection, not listening or not being centered, not allowing the universe to do its job because of that 4. So let's see what comes up in treatment. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know as I speak my word for John, I feel very hemmed in. I feel very stuck. I feel like I can't look ahead. And I feel that my connection with the flow of life is either going too fast or too slow. It's not in sync. There is no in syncness here, and therefore it's slogging hard work. I give thanks in knowing that the universe, once it has an ability to be able to reach in and touch and know what it is you exactly are wanting. So it's a letting go process here so that it can work. The computer is an outpicturing of yourself. So you've got to get plugged back in. You've got to listen. You've got to ask for what you want without getting uptight about it. You've got to allow it to flow. And if it's not going to work, you're going to have to take it to somebody to fix it. I give thanks in knowing that the answer is always there. And just look inside and understand and know that all is well and all is one. And so it is. Thank you. Karen Lee says again, thank you, Norma. You are dead on. It's always nice to say that. I've been in a standstill for Mum at my own expense. I needed to hear what you said tonight. Good. You get going, girl. Maggie G. Okay, my dear. Now, let's see what we get here. Checking in late. It's okay. We'll listen later to the whole show. Thanks again for all your good messages. Bless you. Okay, well, you didn't read one for you, eh? That's all right. Okay, then Karen again says, I love a good reminder, and you are right on. Bless you. So for those of you listening that don't think I've hit you right, just know that I really tend to. Yvonne, hello, my dear. Good to see you here. Thank you, Norma. It's a struggle to change those thoughts, working on it. Let me just go over the thinking pro, because that's what I've had to do for most of my life, is when you have a thought that you watch a thought. I sort of sit down and watch them go across the front of my consciousness, because the subconscious sends them up and then it goes back down. I have a lovely demonstration. I would think I was doing my Wednesday show, and I said, one day I'll get a whiteboard and I'll show you how this really works. And so that's one day. But it's like the subconscious, the thoughts go across. But I find that you have to sort of make time to sit back and watch them without judgment. Like what are the thought patternings? What are you creating in your vibration rate? And I know sometimes I get very down because, things aren't going the way I want them or whatever. But I've learned how to get hold of that and then work on the freeze, evaporate, replace, so that it all works really, really, really well. So it's practice, practice, practice. What do you do if you want to become a great skater? Or what do you want to do if you become a great high jumper? Or whatever it is you want to do. Play great hockey or, football, whatever. You practice. So by allowing maybe 5 minutes every day just to watch those thoughts filter across, to get the pattern that you work on. So keep at it. It works. I mean, I have to every now and again give myself a little reminder and sit back and watch and start weeding, because that's what we're doing, is weeding, so that the subconscious, it doesn't know the difference, what works for you and not. Just know, oh, she wants this, she wants that. And you're going, no, I don't. No, really. Let's clean it out. So we just get to do our gardening in our minds, make it work the way we want. Karen Bonnie, I don't remember. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. If you've been before, I do not remember, but thank you. Shika, hi there. 4911. Treatment for landing a good job role in marketing that is in alignment with my energy and interests and is well paid. Of course, we want well paid. Interesting numbers. Before I start this, I just have to have a drink of water. Just a sec. 4, 9, and 11. The four is the major issue, and that's the first number. And that is because you don't believe. You're cynical, and you think, we're talking about thoughts tonight a lot. You're thinking that, well, it's not going to happen, or it's not going to happen, or it's not going to be, I can't find it. All those negative thoughts that are going around. And it says the answer lies within you. That's number 9. You're the key. And number 11 says, to higher power of the number 2 of making a decision. You need to make a commitment. And I'm going to say, start here in the thinking, because that seems to be where we're heading tonight. Mindful thoughts, clarity, all that is get your head straight. I have to do it every now and again with myself. I have to, like, come on. If I get depressed or if I get upset, I have to get hold of myself and go, hey. And Ashika here, you've got to get a handle on your basic thinking. Every that you are thinking and knowing that is out there. Now, if you want to do a little, what I would do in this case, what I would be doing little prayers throughout the day, that giving thanks that the job, which you explained to me here, is there for me. You got to start talking to this big, what we call the power above, whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you call it. Just know there is a power that loves you, that cares about you, and wants you to succeed, but you've got to do the work. It doesn't do the work for you. It will bring it to you, but you got to do it. So you got to ask, what are you asking for? I can't find it. It's not there. They won't hire me. I don't make enough money. Can't think like that. Bye those kind of negative thought patternings. You deserve better, and you can create. So I'm going to do a treatment for you, understanding and knowing the power that you have. And that's an affirmation that you can use. I'm a powerful woman. I think powerful thoughts. You got to make sure the thoughts are what you really want, though. Now, so I know there is one power in one essence, and I know that Ashika has the possibilities of getting a job that she requires. That means, and therefore she needs strength and power to get her thinking in alignment of possibility and probability, that the possibility of a job, the probability that it will come because she requests it. So on her behalf right now, I know there is a job, exactly what she wants. But I also know the need to open the gates to allow it in. I give thanks that I always have trouble with your name. I apologize. It opens up the gates and allows the abundance that the universe always wants for us comes to come in. I give thanks and say, and so it is. Amen. So I want to hear next week that you're getting your thinking right and that things are opening up for you. Please and thank you. Okay. Karen, hi. Again, numbers 2, 11, 22. Going to be flying Thursday and have a cold. Love and light to you. A lot of people have a cold. The weather, I know. I've been sniffling myself because it just is. I know I put my heat up actually before I started doing here because I was feeling cold. Okay. Flying Thursday. I hope it's to somewhere warm and with cold. Okay, we have to dry the cold up. The numbers are interesting because number 2 is decisions. Number 11 is about commitment to the decision, and 22 is they have faith. So we've talked a lot tonight about creating through thought, and the treatments that I do, it can be looked at as prayers, right? And it's thought. We start with the thought though. So number 2 is that you have to make a decision about this flight. If you're worried about the cold getting worse or whatever, you got to watch the thinking on that. We're talking a lot about thinking. But number 11 is the commitment to it. Now, what I have found in the past, sometimes when that has come up for me, because I used to travel a lot, is that I would make a decision and I was going, and whatever was blocking kind of disappeared a little bit. And because it says here, the 22 says you need to have faith. So we're going to work on that to build your faith up. So I know there is one power and there's one essence. And I know as I speak my word for Karen, that the faith barometer, that life works in your favor, that life is there for you, is the barometer we're raising, so that the cold, the symptoms of the cold, the reason for the cold, all begin to dissipate. And you have in your mind, if you decide that this is what you're doing and commit to it, that you will be on that plane feeling okay. That symptoms move through fast, they dissipate because you are committed to that flight. That's going to be the big thing, is commitment to the flight, that you're going to be on it and that you have the faith that all will be well. I give thanks in knowing that Karen's belief in herself and how quickly things can change once we change our mind. I've already spoken about tonight a lot about the subconscious, coming into the subconscious, and how the subconscious gives us thoughts all the time. And we have to be conscious beings. We have to be awake. It's a good reminder for myself, actually, as well. And anybody else who's listening now or later, remember, take a look at what you're doing with just your thoughts. They're very, very important because they build your vibrational rate. What you put out comes back to you. That's all the universe knows what to do. And that's what we forget over and over and over again. So I'm going to see and know that you can fly on Thursday because of your faith and your willingness to let go of thoughts that you can't. And I release this thought knowing it is true by saying, and so it is. Amen. Mireille says, thanks, Norma. John says, it was very helpful, hopefully. Love and blessings always. Same to you, my dear. Jerry, Jason, thank you for my numbers and clarity things. That's true. Aishka, thank you. I have a few interviews this lined up. Okay, now remember, make sure that you put out there what you're wanting and knowing the support of the universe. See the universe behind you. There's a golden, I use gold light myself, but whatever color you like the best, see it behind you, holding and supporting you through those interviews. So you say what needs to be said and all goes well. Jerry Jason says, I realize the conflict there regarding to these numbers. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Emotion. Soon it's going to be where we are warm. Soon it's going to be, the rain is going to be, then we'll be too hot and we'll be complaining about that. But anyway, well, it looks like we're coming to the end, and that's about, 45 minutes. I've been yakking away here to you, and I'm feeling better. I always feel better after these Monday night sessions, and I trust that you do. My arm is feeling better. For those of you that haven't subscribed to my newsletter yet, you can subscribe through my webpage. I always have every month, and I'm going to say, hang on, what you'll get this month free is 3 meditations that I have it, and this is a CD, but you'll get it posted differently. Actually, I went to clear some people who had ordered it, and I have to go and retape it and put it out again. But I want to say that there's 3 meditations on here. I used to use in my meditation group. The second one is the Learning Valley. There's a building. It's a library. And if you want to go and see your Akashic records, that's where you go, into the building and look for your Akashic records. It's built that way. But you have other choices in there. I mean, it gives you choices where you can go. I just want you to know if you want to go into the Akashic records, you can. Now, the other thing is just email me or sign up for the next one, because next month there'll be another one. Last month we did Channeling Your Guide again. Probably next month, which will be July, we'll do 20-minute readings for $50 again. I'm trying to bring it all out, or another book or something. I don't know. Figure it out. Anyway, Thank you, thank you, thank you. You all help me as I trust I help you. Jerry says, so good, you're doing better. Oh, yes, I am. Not perfect, but I'm good. Norma and Jerry, have a blessed evening. I will. I will. I feel so much better now. I've been feeling off today, but this is what happens when you start to work with the power. It just brings you back where you need to do. You guys go have a great week. I want to thank anybody that's on here that's a new subscriber. Welcome. As you probably are aware, I also have, this is Monday. On Wednesday in the morning at 9 o'clock Pacific time, I do a longer talk. I talk. I'm good at talking lots. And then on Sunday, I do a shorter talk called A Sunday Thought. I also appreciate any of your comments, that those that write in about the comments on things. I just really, I've got some more I have to answer, but I really, really appreciate them. And it gives me an awareness of what you guys need and want to hear about and what you know about. I wish you well, love you lots, and I send my love out there. And so the universe can know it's got your back, kiddos. You can go get your clarity, get that mind working. And I'll do the same because I have to do the same as well. I'm no different than you. Blessings and love. Bye for now.